Welcome, great leaders. This moment, we will be looking into how to create internal boundaries, how to create healthy internal boundaries. When we talk about internal boundaries, we're talking about how to work on your response to issues based on your emotional intelligence. All right, so it's important you are aware of who you are, that's self awareness. It's also aware of your own emotions. It's important that you are aware of your own emotions and how you respond to issues or to people or to situations and also to several things around you, and know how to manage yourself and grow yourself to adapt relationally to your environment and to the people around you. So it's important to learn that. So knowing how to have internal healthy boundaries is very, very important. Very, very important. First of all, we will start by you recognizing, being aware, and recognizing your own emotional responses. It's important as a great leader that you are aware and you recognize your emotional responses and how you respond to issues. Be aware of yourself to that extent. Certain people are not aware of themselves and how they respond, and usually they tend to think that the problem is the external influences. However, the challenge is within them, within their own emotions. And so it's important you understand and you are aware of yourself and how you respond to all such things. So your emotional responses is important. Recognize that about you. And also, number two, also recognize, be aware of what you are responding to. Are you responding to an authority figure? Are you responding to a peer? Or are you responding to an emotion? You must be aware what exactly you are responding to emotionally, because it's important. Most times there are issues we tend to give ourselves away, not understanding that we ought to maintain certain boundaries internally so as to regulate our own emotional responses. And so you need to understand, to what are you responding to? Are you responding to some authority figures, some peers, or some situations? So you need to be able to pinpoint those things intentionally. That will help you to build internal boundaries. And again, too, you need to understand what the other person is responding to or reacting to in you. Most times when we speak or when we are in a place, we may not understand how or why somebody is responding or reacting to us in certain ways. So it's important you know what the other person is reacting to or responding to in you as a leader. It may not be the way you spoke, it may be a notion he has of you. It may also be something else. So you need to understand what somebody is reacting to in you, because that's important. It's not just about you that you should be mindful of. You should be mindful of the other person who is also reacting to you. You need to be mindful of that. You need to also recognize and be aware of the situations that are provoking certain responses and certain results too. You need to recognize and be aware of those situations. Is very, very important. Recognize those situations, recognize how they provoke certain responses from you, and then certain results come forth out of it. So you need to recognize that. You also need to recognize anxiety situations. There are basically some anxiety situations that always trigger certain responses in you. Recognize those anxiety situations. Understand that most times the challenge is not majorly environmental or external, it is within, it is internally in you. So you are only responding to external stimuli, things that usually trigger what is in you. So it's important that you recognize the anxiety situations. And when you recognize it, then you can learn to manage it. But when you can't recognize it, then you cannot, it will be difficult for you to manage them, and it will be very difficult for you to manage them. So in a conflict situation, it's always important that it's always important you talk about your behaviors and your feelings, all right, and avoid focusing on the other person's behavior. Most times in a conflict challenge, we tend to focus on the other person's behavior as the cause of the problem while we are doing what we are doing. We fail to take responsibility for our own unruly behavior and unguarded emotions. So, but it's important you focus on yourself, your own emotions, your own behaviors, your own feelings. Focus on yourself. Do not focus on the other persons, because that is critical. When you focus on yourself, you can now set boundaries. To be easy for you to set your boundaries internally and know how best to relate in that situation. It's important, because if you are not able to set your boundaries internally in a conflict situation, it's usually boiling down to the red zone, and usually boiling down to a lot of other challenges. So it's important you understand that. And it's also important you become aware of the people who provoke certain emotional responses in you. Why do they provoke such emotional responses in you? Is there some kind of hatred, or is it that they are arrogant, or is it that there is something about them that you don't like? What exactly it is? So you need to know those people who provoke certain emotional responses in you, and why you should be responding to them that way. It's critical, it's important. It helps you to discover yourself and deal with certain emotional challenges in you. And this will also help you to grow yourself. It will help you to understand who you are. And it will also help you to put yourself in order and regulate your own internal boundaries. So it's important to know that. Also identify the characteristics in the person who provokes certain challenges, certain emotional response in you. What are the characteristics in them that make that possible, that provoke you to such challenges? It's important. Now recognize that if you're unable to discuss an issue, if you're unable to solve a problem, if you're unable to solve a challenge after you have discussed it with the person involved and discussed it extensively, deal with it extensively, and yet you are unable to solve it, it means there is a deeper cause of it in you. And that is your work to establish what exactly is the root of the bitterness or the root of the triggers within you. After you have discussed it over and over, you still find yourself in that mess. You need to deal with it, and it's important. So at that point, you will need an external helper. You need an external help. You need someone else to talk to walk you through that challenge, and that is very important. I want to stop there for now. Thank you so much. And this is just to help us regulate you are healthily, in a healthy manner, our internal boundaries. And this is going to help you so much in your own emotional, managing your own emotional intelligence and dealing with people. Thank you. God bless you. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share. Remember to also like. Remember to also comment and send feedbacks so that we can respond appropriately. God bless you.